everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Nerd Cosa Nostra, and this is Reign of Horror. Hopefully everyone's having a good day, or you've had a good day and you're already winding down, trying to relax before the new day is upon us and we have to start this all over again. I'm doing pretty well. All things considering, far better than I deserve. Got some interesting stories that have come out between last night and this morning. We are once again finding ourselves neck deep in updates on these public domain Disney characters. It seems like every day we get another new update on either an upcoming character that's being utilized within the horror genre, or something we weren't expecting to see coming up out of these public domain characters. Nonetheless, we have another update regarding one of them. We also have an update on some changes that are making their way through on an existing film. We've had the lead actor drop, we've had the director drop. Now they're not scrambling, but they've already found a new director for it. Now they just need to find their next lead actor to take over the role. And then we have an update on, maybe some of you have seen it, maybe some of you haven't. So Amazon MGM are putting out this TV series using video games as like their foundation, their premise. And if you haven't seen one of the two trailers that have come out about this over the past month or so, I know one of them just recently dropped end of last week into the weekend, and one of the characters that they're utilizing is Pac-Man. However, and you're wondering, well, why are we talking about Pac-Man on a horror channel? Well, because this version of Pac-Man is gonna be this part of the show, this episode, these scenes are gonna be a bit dark for Pac-Man, and it kind of dips its toe into, I think, the horror space. So, but you all can let me know what you think when we get to that topic. But based on the details on the screen images that we've seen thus far, it looks like we're going to see a very different version of Pac-Man than what we're all used to, especially if you grew up playing Pac-Man, whether that was at the arcade, and some of you were probably too young to even know what an arcade is, but those of you who do know what an arcade is, you know what I'm talking about. So before we get into the details, if you haven't done so, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps us out. And drop a comment in the comment section and tell us what you think about tonight's topics, or if there is something you would like to see us cover in the future. All right, so let's get right into tonight's topics. As I mentioned, public domain characters, Disney Mouse of Horrors trailer unleashes the next bootleg Mickey Mouse slasher villain. So, yep, we have an update here on again, these public domain old school Disney characters that are seemingly making their way into the horror genre nonstop. And we've seen Winnie the Pooh. We're gonna be seeing Pinocchio, The Little Mermaid, Popeye, Bambi, and obviously we're seeing, I think I've heard of at least two horror films that are going to be using Mickey Mouse, or an iteration of Mickey Mouse in a horror film. I think there's rumored to be a third, but I know of at least two myself. And looking at this first image here, yeah, I would say that's not the Mickey Mouse that many of us are used to seeing. So let's jump into the details here a little bit. Originally announced under the title The Mouse Experiment, ITN Studios has announced today that their upcoming Mickey-inspired horror movie is now titled Mouse of Horrors. Watch the official trailer for Mouse of Horrors below, coming soon. In the upcoming Mickey Mouse horror movie, the film follows a group of friends stuck at a fairground amusement park hunted down by a mutated rat, Steamboat Willie. Brendan Petrozzo directed the indie slasher Mouse of Horrors, which stars, we have all the names there. We're not going to need to read everyone's name off. For the sake of clarity, this film is not part of the growing Poohniverse. So some of you probably know about that particular universe. I named some of the films that are part of that, and obviously this one will not be included in that one. The classic short film that included Mickey Mouse to the World, 1928 Steamboat Willie, has officially entered the public domain, which means filmmakers don't need the permission of Disney to use that original incarnation of Mickey in their movies, and a whole bunch of them are taking advantage with a slew of twisted Mickey projects already in the works. The first of these feature was the Mousetrap, released earlier this year, with Screamboat headed our way next year, and then there's Mouseboat Massacre coming soon. So there's already 3 right there. So yeah, I knew there was at least 2, with a third one potentially happening. So obviously that's where the article ends. I'll put the link for this article in the description below. As you can see here, this is the trailer they're referring to. Let me see if we can get this playing, and we'll take a quick sneak peek at it ourselves. So let's just check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me present the fun thing.
Let's try this. Let's see who can find the best body parts by midnight. Look everywhere.
Oh my God!
Do I make myself clear?
Can you hear that?
Doesn't matter who they belong to, as long as they are perfect.
What? I'm doing what? We gotta go! They killed one of them!
So what do you guys think? I'm all for that. That to me is just how do I describe it? I think it's kind of like your right to the point horror slasher. This is your group, this is your killer, and now you have to escape. It's most movies like this, you're not going to expect a intricate story, so to speak, right? This is a pretty cut and dry, right to the point horror film. Obviously, we didn't see much of the graphics, much of the kills. We saw briefly what was going to be at least one when he snuck up behind her while she was talking to her 2 friends. But something like this, though, I'm all for it. It's obviously pretty dark. It looks pretty eerie. Let's just hope it can deliver on some jump scares, on some creepiness. The mask, though, for the character, the villain here, we go back up to that first image. I think the picture looks great. If you look underneath here, we see where the mask is here, but if we zoom in a little bit here, you might be able to see what could be their face right there, like where their mouth is, like those are their teeth, so they could be mutated themselves, or something wrong with them, which is why they're wearing this mask. But either way, this type of horror stuff I'm all for, because I think it is, to me, it's just about the gore, it's about the kills. Kind of like if I were to compare it to something like Terrifier, right? Terrifier doesn't really have, the story isn't that intricate, right? It's not that hard to follow, and really it's just about the amount of horror and gore that you can bring to the table. So one more to add to the list. Like I said, these public domain characters that creators are allowed to go out there and start using, where Disney can't say anything about it because it's public domain. So more to come on this one. At least we have a trailer thus far. I'm sure we'll get another trailer or 2 before this one eventually drops. But I'm excited to see this one. We will definitely be doing a movie review on this, and depending upon when it comes out, we might even set up a watch party on this one as well. So, and might just set up a watch party on like the public domain characters, whether it with this one, once we get The Little Mermaid, Pinocchio, Popeye, all the other ones coming out, just set up like a marathon of Disney public domain horror films and just do a massive watch party. So more to come on this one. All right, next topic. the Pope's Exorcist director Julius Avery comes aboard retooled alien abduction movie They Found Us. So this is the one I was mentioning, where we had two of the primary individuals involved drop. So last year, director Neil Blomkamp's was set to tackle alien abduction horror movie They Found Us with star Joel Kinnaman. Now, Deadline reports that both have left the project, and Julius Avery has taken the directorial reins. With Kinnaman no longer attached, casting is underway as production is aiming to shoot in Australia in the first half of 2025. In They Found Us, a father and daughter undertake a camping trip in the Utah wilderness to heal their broken relationship. Attacked by a hostile extraterrestrial life form, their lives, not just their relationship, are at stake as they fight with a humanoid beast to stop their abduction to an unknown and terrifying alien world. Let's see here. Temple Hill Entertainment is on board to produce They Found Us, which is being retooled and relocated from its initial shooting location in Saudi region of Neom. The film is based on an original screenplay by Jeremy Slater and is produced by Wick Godfrey and Marty Bowen. For Temple Hill Entertainment, Ford is on board as an executive producer, along with Temple Hill's John Fisher. We have a quote here from Wick Godfrey. The otherworldly horror and breathless suspense at the center of Jeremy's script is merely the backdrop for an all too relatable and emotional story of a father and teenage daughter grappling with their differences and working through their estrangement. That's where we leave off. So, I mean, that's unfortunate. I mean, especially when you're looking to, if this was still the plan, was to start filming in the first half of 2025. If that was always the original plan, that's a really short window to be bringing on a new director and then now trying to recast the lead for this film. Hopefully this doesn't get pushed out any further. We don't really see too many alien, I guess we'll call them alien, not alien like the xenomorph of that franchise, but alien in general, abduction films. There are several good ones out there, but we just don't see them that often, and that's I think that's kind of unfortunate that we don't see them that often. This might be the start of something, but again, they're going to need to probably bring in someone somewhat strong to lead it. I'm not saying Joel is a big box office draw. I mean, he is a talented actor, don't get me wrong. He's been in several things and he's played those roles very well, but Joel isn't going to take any film and make it a $1 billion film on his own, right? So not to say he's not a big loss. I'm just saying that you've lost him. Are you going to bring in somebody around the same level? Are you going to bring in somebody a little bit bigger name to try and draw more eyes, more audience, more people to the theaters to see this? Because again, if they're not looking to film until the first half of 2025, and by the time you go through all the post-production and all that, I'm imagining this isn't something we're going to see until 2026, assuming there's no further issues with the film, meaning we don't see Julius drop out, we don't see a delay in casting. Now with Julius coming in to take over the project, do we now potentially see some changes to the script? Then that could delay things. So you never know where this could lead, especially again since you had the two main parts already in place and filming was going to start as early as in 2 months, a month and a half, 2 months. So again, let's see if this one actually makes it all the way to the finish line, and if it does, we will keep an eye out for it. All right, moving on to our final topic of today's episode. Tim Miller's adult animated Secret Level series reimagines Pac-Man Ghost as carnivorous monsters. So this is what I was talking about. So just this first image here is not what you would think. I mean, this is a pretty dark image, up-to-date image of Pac-Man, what he looks like. But I think there are in this one some additional images that we'll be able to. Yeah, there is. I didn't want to go all the way down. Just want to make sure it was there. So from Prime Video and the creative minds behind the adult animated anthology series Love, Death, Plus Robots comes the new series Secret Level, exploring original stories set within the worlds of some of the most beloved video games. Expect things to get very dark. Secret Level will be available exclusively on Prime, so we don't need to read that. It starts on the December 10th. Additional episodes will drop on the 17th. Let's just get to the details of this. Let's see here. So the series from Amazon MGM Studios and Blur Studio gives new interpretations and original tales set within our favorite video games, with the trailer below teasing some of the game's features. That includes a rather dark reimaging of Pac-Man, with the series writer J.T. Petty explaining in an interview with EW how they arrived at translating the game's iconic ghosts into carnivorous monsters below. Quote, "We spent a long time trying to respect the entire 50-year history with Pac-Man and did a lot of retro-style, cute cartoon Pac-Mans," end quote, Petty told EW. Quote, "Eventually, me and Dave were like, we just gotta do the John Mellis version of this. What is Blood Meridian Pac-Man?" The series was created. Okay, so now we go on to all the voice actors involved. So let's just get down. So watch the trailer below. So here is an image. This is an image from the Pac-Man piece. I'm not sure what this is supposed to, represent. But again, this is one of the images that's coming from the Pac-Man piece of what they're talking about. So that's pretty dark to me. Again, I'm not sure how this plays into Pac-Man. But again, this is supposed to be like one of the ghosts that we're seeing. That's a far cry from the ghosts that we're used to seeing in the classic Pac-Man. And again, here's a trailer, and that's where the article ends. But again, I wanted us to just take a look at these first images here. Again, let's get rid of this ad here. Just taking a look at that there. That's pretty dark. Again, that's supposed to represent one of the ghosts that we're used to seeing. That's a far different take than what we've seen in the past. So, and then again, we have that first image up here as well of Pac-Man. But that could be, because if you look at this background, obviously that's not your normal just running and eating little dots around, right? So I expect that we're going to see. I've seen the trailer of this, and we won't play the trailer just in case of any copyright issues for this in particular. But again, we'll put the link down in the description below if you want to check out the trailer for this. Feel free to do so. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for tonight's episode. Pretty quick one, just some brief updates on some things making their way to us here in the near future and for 2025. Again, if you haven't done so, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and this video. Drop a comment in the comment section. Again, tell us what you think of tonight's topics. What do you think about this new version of Pac-Man? Do you think, with the replacement of a director and a leading man is gonna slow down the film They Found Us? And what do you think of Mouse of Horrors? Are you enjoying thus far the public domain spin on these old Disney characters with a horror take? Or do you just find them completely just nonsense, not needed, and you really don't care? So either way, let us know, and we will see you at the next one. Peace.